Hello learners, welcome to another video under the YouTube series. Today we are going to learn about the importance of informed consent. This topic we are covering under the subject design thinking, and we study the subject design thinking in the branch computer science and business system under fourth semester. So let us move ahead and see what is in the bucket in today's session. On a broader scope, what are the main touch points of this session are data privacy, consent, and ethical data governance in modern organizations. Um, to summarize, we are using design thinking for some user-centered problem solving. And it is very important that we keep in mind the data privacy concern, the informed consent importance for our customers for dealing the data governance in modern organizations. So this was the broader scope of today's topic. Let us see how we are going to understand. The objective of this video is to help you to understand why informed consent is important when collecting customer data. Also, you will understand and analyze how organizations can ensure ethical data practices. So these are the two major objectives and your takeaway from the video today. The terminologies which are being used here are data privacy, identity theft and fraud, online digital fingerprints, as well as data breach management. These terms will help you understand more the importance of informed consent and data ethics in your organization. So let us define the term data privacy. Data privacy broadly means the ability of a person to determine for themselves when, how, and to what extent their personal information can be shared or exchanged. This definition is sourced from Cloudflare. Cloudflare is a global MNC which deals with cyber infrastructures and IT consulting as well. So it is important that anyone, any person, any user, any customer knows how his information is collected, how his information is used and shared. So this is the first pillar which is very important when we deal with data ethics. The second term is identity theft and fraud. Identity theft means to hack somebody's personal information. This can be their name, their credit card information, their Aadhaar IDs, or their bank details. And if this information is hacked, then there is possibility of a fraud activity outcome. The fraud activity could be intrusion into the bank accounts or making forge calls for employment benefits or ask money to someone for their own benefits. This information is also sourced from Infosys. And moving on, we can now connect the two terms data privacy and identity theft along with fraud. This image that you are observing on the screen is an AI generated image which summarizes the flow, and it illustrates that if you are not keeping data privacy, if you're not keeping good care of how information is collected, how you are storing the information, and if you are ignoring the consent of users and customers, then there are chances that their private information can be hacked, which means this information can be a target of identity theft. This theft might possibly reach to data breaches. This may crash the privacy. This may compromise their personal information. And if identity theft occurs, then finally there is chance of fraud. Fraud could be unauthorized purchase, fake account, fake calls, monetary loss, and you can say that fake criminal calls are done in the cyberspace. So this all will be a connected scenario if you are not taking care of consent for collecting user information. And one more thing I would like to tell you that here in the series of the previous four slides, you might have observed I am putting the source from where the information is collected. Like this image has been AI generated. So my users know, my customers know, and my audience know that what is the source, how this image was collected. In the previous slides also, I was showing you that the particular definition is sourced from Infosys or from Cloudflare. So this is also one kind of informed consent. Your users and your learners, your readers, your audience should know from where this data is coming. So far we have learned about data privacy, we have seen identity theft, and we are now little understanding that if identity theft occurs, then fraudulent activity may take place. After understanding these three combined terms, the next term in the bucket is online digital footprint. We all are aware with the fingerprints and the footprints. As we know, they are the biological traces of a person. So when we call these footprints in digital era or in the cyberspace, we term them as digital footprints. So digital footprint or digital shadow or electronic footprint refer to the trail of data which a customer leaves, which a user leaves over internet. And it could be anything. It could be your browsing pattern. It can be the number of clicks you are doing on a web page. It is also your information which is stored in the cookies and in the browser's history. So everything that you are leaving behind as information on the web is called your digital footprint. And as per the Casper Sky, see again, I am putting the information from where the definition has been sourced. So that's why I'm telling you the importance of citing your references. So Casper Sky defines that every website that you visit, every email that you send, and any information that you submit online contributes to digital footprint. So now why we are discussing about digital footprints? Because these are the information that are left behind. We are leaving some important information and we don't know who can use our footprint for their own purpose. So that's why online digital footprint tracking is important. The next important connected term is data breach management. So if data privacy is not taken care of, if you are doing identity theft and causing fraudulent activities, then what's happening is there is chance of data breach. Somebody who is not entitled, who is unauthorized to access the information, may gain the access to your important essential information. So data guard defines that those incidents which pose cybersecurity risk and which are important to be tackled by protection teams and by data systems are called as your data breach management. So whenever we are talking about data ethics, whenever we are talking about informed consent, it is important to take care that we are implementing data privacy, digital footprints, data breach management all together in an effective way. So I assume that was pretty much more of theory that we have learned. Let us take a look towards the examples and case-based scenarios. Let us say you are making an online purchase. Whenever you are even buying anything from Myntra or Flipkart or Amazon, your application prompts you to enter some information, and that this is basically your personal information. This may include your name, email address, phone numbers, locations, and your bank account details also, if you are very frequently using the online purchases and UPI payment. So what happens? Your company tells you that we want your information for order processing. We also want your information so that you can track your delivery shipment, and so that we can give you some personalized coupons and rewards, and to help you with the personalized recommendation. So what your company do? What does Myntra do? Myntra asks you with two options. Do you accept to share your information or do you decline? And let us say you say that I accept. This is one form of informed consent. You were informed that your information will be utilized for certain purposes, and you also said your agreement, you are agreeing, yes, go ahead and use my information. So this is one scenario where you are understanding informed consent. See, here are the examples which are illustrating this importance. Let us say you are using YouTube, or even if whenever you are doing some Google Meet or Zoom Meet, your application prompt that do you want to share your camera? Do you want application to access your mic? And you say, yes, I allow. I'm okay. You give the permissions. Many a times the browser asks that do you want to enable all the cookies? Do you want the JavaScript to run? And you say yes, you want to allow. This is an example of informed consent. Taking another scenario of Instagram. Whenever you're opening your app and you want to access the camera through Instagram, your app pops up the message. Do you want to allow Instagram to take pictures and record video, and you are allowing certain permission. It could be any of the permission. So this is the scenario where you are dealing with informed consent. This means that yes, you agree upon to share your data, you agree upon to for the company to collect your data, and whatever the next stages are, you are agreeing upon them. So it is very important that every organization lay out the mechanism where informed consent is taken care of. Let us take another example, which is giving you an ethical lesson. Suppose you are using a fitness application, and this fitness application collect your heart rate, your sleep patterns. And what happens is the application does not ask you, does not prompt you with any message, and it secretly shares your personal health data with the advertisers or with some other application. So what can happen? There is possibility of identity theft and eventually some fraudulent activity with your data. This might happen. You don't know. You are only sharing your data with A, but what happens in the background? A gives your data to B or to C or to so many other parties, and they are utilizing your data for their own benefits. Even if they are not doing a cyber attack, but they are monetizing your information, they are earning their assets with your information. So that is a wrongdoing. This must be discouraged. So it is important that the company takes care of informed consent with their customer. I hope the learning so far might have helped you to summarize the importance of informed consent. The customers should know how their information will be used. It is important that the company declare that we are collecting your data to give you reward, to give you coupons, and to share the personalized recommendation. Also, it is important that the organization build trust. If if my customer knows everything, then he will trust me. So it is very important that the organization shares all the ethical practices with their customer. Also, when we talk about ethical practices, they are connected with the legal approaches also. So if the ethicalness is maintained, then eventually the legality and the legitimate decisions will be created. So it is important that we reduce the risk, whether legal or ethical, by complying the informed consent. And also these mechanisms will increase the transparency. See, if trust is there, then eventually this transparency will also be there. So these two P, I say, are always interconnected. They go hand in hand. So if you wish to implement trust, you have to make the system transparent. Everything should be crystal clear. So till here, we can summarize that people should know and they should control their personal information so as to achieve the data privacy. This is the first pillar. This was the first important definition that we understood today, and it is very important that all your people in the form of users, in the form of customers, know how their information is managed. And if you are effectively managing your informed consent practice, what will be the outcome? What will be the goal result? That you can prevent unauthorized access, you can reduce the fraudulent activities, and hence you can increase the trust and maintain compliance. Ensuring regulatory compliance is something which depends with your customer also, and depends on the government and administration also. Government put down certain act, certain laws, and when you are complying with the regulatory framework, it is important that you take care what the government is saying. For example, in India, there is a DPDP Act, and DPDP Act says that an application and website or any organization must tell their customer about how the company is going to use their data. This is Digital Protection and Digital Right Act. Similarly, there is HIPAA. HIPAA is used by USA, and European Union also use certain act. To name, they are GDPD Act and GDPR Act. So you can study in detail about these acts. It is very important that every country comply with their government and their administration for the regulation. Uh, I will wrap up the video. What I am giving you in homework is some example. Please study Netflix, how Netflix use our data and recommends us with good results. So you give the consent that yes, allow Netflix to access my history. Yes, allow Netflix to store my watch time and my device information. And if Netflix store this information, he will do some good practices. He will be using your data in a good manner. Also, in Apple iPhone, you know that Apple very strictly follows the regulations and data collection. Their data ethics are very good. Moreover, one general example that is not only in Apple but in most of the devices nowadays, users can choose whether to allow or disapprove any feature, whether you want to allow the app to track your location or not. So all these are the examples which you can study in detail. Along with the case studies, I am also leaving you with one homework about data life cycle. What is data life cycle? What is its importance? Please go ahead, study these terms. They will help you in designing a good ethical organization, because today's world is entirely on cyber, on web. So it is very important that you take care of your customer in the cyberspace. And cyberspace means that you take care about their informed consent. So leave your comments, leave your feedback and suggestions on this lesson in the comment box. See you in the next video with some interesting topics. That's all for today. Bye. Take care.